Hello there, my name is Andrew Hall and I am a woodturner from Weardale in County Durham, and I'm making this video because we've been having a big chat. I've got a good friend up in Northumberland called Ash, and Ash has been he's been a good friend to me throughout all of COVID, helping us with critiques and everything like that, and taking this business that I've got, which was a practical training business, into a virtual business. Now what I'm doing on his suggestion, I think it's a great idea, is I'm actually going to do a what is wood turning video for YouTube. And basically I thought, what a great idea, because somebody had said to him the other day when he was out, well, what is wood turning? Well, wood turning is the art of turning wood on a wood turning lathe, and there's a number of different lathes that you can get to start off with. It just depends what your budget is, and what I'll do, I'll just put a few still shots of the different types of lathes that you can buy now. So now that you've seen the actual shots of the lathes, you can see that you've got a mini, you've got a midi, you've got a sort of a mid-range size lathe, and then you've got your larger lathes which go right up to your heavy duty in lathes as well. And really what I like to do is I'd like to just go through the different types that you can get. Lathes, it's the Record Power Coronet Hurled, and this is the baby of the bunch in the what I call the lathe, the starter lathe. Really for me is this one. If you're going to get a mini or a midi, you're quite restricted to what you can do between centres and also over the bed. For me, I would rather save up a little bit more money and get me start off with a Record Hurled, the Coronet Hurled, and it's a lovely lathe. I've been working with it now for quite a number of years. Since it came out, I've been demonstrating it. I've got a lot of students who have actually bought it. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a better look at it. So here you can have a better look at the lathe. I'll just take the camera down a little bit, and there we've got the lathe itself. What you've got your lathe, which is basically what you've got is your headstock, your tailstock, your tool rest here. I'll just move it across here so you can see it a bit better, and I'll take the board off. And you've got this part here which is called your banjo. This one can either be bench mounted or it can go onto a set of legs. So why am I talking about this one to start with? Well, I think it's a great entry level lathe. It's very well made, it's good castings. I'll go back up so as I can see you. And really, for starting off with, it's ideal. You've got a decent size over the bed, you've got a decent size between centres. So what I would suggest to do, there are other manufacturers of course, have a look at the other manufacturers' lathes, but I'm just speaking about this one because I happen to like it. And I've actually worked with Record Power lathes now for over 20 years. In fact, I'm going to show you a photograph here. I'll show you it from above. And there's a photograph there. There you can see the very first lathe that I bought. And I bought it second hand. And it was called a Record Power Hurled as well. It was one of the models that was made in Sheffield. And you can see behind it a set of Record Power chisels, or gouges we call them in wood turning. And also there is a couple of other manufacturers there. There was a set of Hamlet and there was a set of Ashley Isles as well. So whatever you decide to buy, it's down to a matter of choice and a matter of budget. That's really what it is. But if you're buying good tools, buy high-speed steel tools, M2 steel. You'll get a good edge on it. It'll give you longevity, keep the tool nice and sharp. So that's the lathe, basically what it is. And what it does, it actually spins the wood round, and we offer the tool up to the wood, and the wood's cut with the tool. Now, unlike other machines that are in a workshop, we're actually in charge of the cutting edge. Whereas in other machines, such as your bandsaw, your circular saw, the cutting edge is revolving as you feed the wood in. On a lathe, the material's revolving as you feed the cutting edge in. So theoretically, it should be the safest machine that's in your workshop. So right, we'll have a look at what else we need to have. We need a lathe to start with. We also need a set of gouges. I would say, actually, before I go into the gouges, I might as well introduce myself a little bit more. I've been turning now for over 20 years and demonstrating for 17. Probably what I'm best known for is actually doing the hats. And there we are. That's one of my elm hats that I've turned and bent, and that's for another time to see how that's done. I've got different tutorials on my website, so if you're interested in that, have a look at my website, which is www.hallwoodhats.com. But that's one of my signature hats that I do. I also do dicky bow ties, and the dicky bow tie is actually fantastic for being able to learn the 3 basic cuts in turning, which is your bead, your cove and your V-cut. And that's where I would suggest you start when you go on the lathe, working between centres, doing spindle turning. So I'll just pop this out of the road for the moment, and I'll show you. This is another one. This is my blues bowl hat, and that's another turning that I'm now known for, which is a musical instrument called a blues bowl. And here we've got a one here. There we are. And again, look on the website if you're interested, or look at me YouTube channel, Andrew Hall Woodturner, and you'll be able to see information about the blues bowls. But that's an open G tuned blues bowl, and that's what I'm known for as well. But getting back to the tools that you might need, so you've got your lathe. What you might also need are a set of spindle gouges and a set of bowl gouges. Now the choice is yours which you determine to buy. What I suggest is you buy 7 tools, and I call them my Magnificent 7, and I'll show you those 7 tools now. The Magnificent 7. These are the 7 tools that I think that if you buy as a starter to wood turning, it'll cover you for both spindle turning and bowl turning as well. So what we've got in the Magnificent 7, if we start off with the spindle rough and gouge. This is the spindle rough and gouge, and this tool is only ever used for spindle work. Again, get some training as well, and you will learn, the first thing you will learn, that you never use this particular tool on a bowl blank. So there are training videos out available. There's also training websites, and there's also trainers that you can go and have one-to-one training with as well. I strongly recommend that. So we've got a spindle rough and gouge to start with. Then what we've got is a parting tool. And again, spindle rough and gouge and parting tool will be used for spindle work. Parting tool can be used for bowl work as well, for parting off bowls. And a skew. And a skew is a great tool to be able to use. To master a skew is not the easiest thing in the world, but it'll get you a fantastic finish on a spindle. So what we've also got as well within the Magnificent 7, I've just shown you 4 of the tools there. I'll show you the other 3, which are for your bowl turning. And what I would suggest again is buy yourself a 3/8 bowl gouge with a traditional grind, but buy one with either a swept back grind, or what you can do is buy one with a traditional and grind it to swept back. And again, on my website are YouTubes of how to grind the tools correctly. Along with that, I would suggest just buy yourself a scraper as well. And this is a round nose scraper that's got what's called a negative rake on it. And again, all that can be explained in training. So there we are. We've got the lathe, we've got the tools. The only other thing I would suggest you buy is a wood turning chuck. And if I show you from above, that's a wood turning chuck there. And I'll just zoom out of that so as you can see it a little bit easier. There is a wood turning chuck there. And this is a Record Power SC4. I've had record chucks now for 17 years. The first one I bought was an RP 4000, and it's still going strong as well. But there we are. We'll loosen it with the Tommy bar, and that will hold your material on your spigot like that. And that's great for turning your bowls and your platters. There's a bowl, for example, there. And that's a utilitarian bowl to eat from. Here is a platter. I'll pop a platter on so as you can see that. This is a platter to eat from as well. This one is held on a dovetail, whereas the other one was held on a spigot. So there we are. There's your platter as well. Again, I can show you from the opposite side as well, so you can see both. Beautiful grain texture on there. It's a piece of ash, and it's been finished in a food safe oil manufactured by a company called Chestnut. So there we are. We've got our types of turning that we can do, and the lathe, the tools and the chuck. The only other thing that you need to buy, and which is vitally important, is your health and safety equipment. And as a bare minimum, I would buy a dust mask that's made from paper. And what I would also suggest is, as a bare minimum, you get yourself a pair of the wraparound glasses, safety glasses like these. But my favourite choice for protecting my face is a visor. There's a one here. There we are. There's the visor there, and that works absolutely great. It protects your face, and it's got a high impact shield on it. It's made by a company called Honeywell, and it's the highest impact that you can get. But what you can do if you want to, if your budget will stretch to it, and I would really recommend it, once you get into wood turning, go for it. Get yourself a GSP air cap. I've got one here, and I've actually got some other dust masks in here to show you as well. This is the Ellipse dust mask. This is dust only. That other one I showed you is fumes and spirit stains. That's a stealth mask. All good masks to protect your lungs. But my suggestion is save up and buy yourself an air cap like this. What you've got two in one. You've got your lungs protected, and you've also got your face protected with the high impact cap. So that's really what you need to get started. Overalls or a wood turning smock is a good idea to protect your clothes. Good strong trousers, not shorts. I'm not a lover of shorts. If you drop a gouge down by your leg, you'll slice your leg because the gouges are extremely sharp. You'll need a grinder, or you'll need a wet sharpening system, or again, if the budget will go to it, get both, because you really will benefit from both of those tools in the workshop. And you'll also, for your lungs, for really fine dust that you don't want to be breathing in at all, get yourself an air filtration system such as a Record Power AC400, and then you will be safe to go. Now where I'm standing is a shed 6 foot by 4 foot, and that can get the hurled in no problem at all. The only other thing you might want to consider after that is buying a bandsaw, but we'll talk about bandsaws at a later stage, because bandsaws are a different machine to a lathe altogether and need to be addressed separately. So I hope that will give you a flavour of what wood turning is all about. Speaking of the turnings, you've seen the platter, you've seen the bowl there. The spindle, for example, let me show you a spindle. Is a chair leg or a table leg or a stool leg. That's a spindle. And there you've got your square section going down into a bead. You've got your large bead going down into a V-cut. And then you've got this cut here, which is going down into a cove. So that's your bead, your cove and your V-cut. And again, done on the dicky bow tie. It's a lovely little project to be able to learn how to do it. So I hope you'll join us on a training program somewhere, and I look forward to seeing you in the future, either demonstrating or at wood turning shows or something like that. But wood turning is a fabulous hobby. I love it, and once you get into it, it's very addictive. And you know what we all do, eventually become toolaholics, because I've got lots of tools. But those 7 tools will get you going, along with a lathe, good health and safety equipment, and you'll have loads of fun making shavings. So bye for now. We'll see you at a later stage. Take care and be happy turning. Bye bye.